Good evening. Welcome to the September 24th meeting of the Lowell Conservation Commission. I'd like to start off by mentioning that this meeting is filmed by LTC, who is currently going through a union battle. They've been kind enough over the years to film us each and every one of our meetings. There's one of their employees sitting in the back room each and every night of any meeting in this room, filming all of the meetings for this city. The reason I mention this is because there's been an attack on the First Amendment by our federal government that is deeply upsetting to me. I feel that the relation between our local network and our federal government's advocation of the news that is on our TVs is very much in common. And all I can do right now is to share my support of my friends and my colleagues that are here, making sure that the public can watch us speak and hear you and your arguments and make sure that the public is well informed about what happens on the public forum. So thank you to the employees of LTC for continuing to make sure that our voices are heard. I'd like to start off with an enforcement order, an item of continued business. Project location 48 Townsend Ave with the Buck Khmer, Lowell, and Khmer American Cultural Center. We've been talking about some trees that were cut in the wetlands and the flood zone. The last meeting we ratified this order, which we're looking for a response from the client and the owner of the property to talk about the rectification of the trees that were cut in the flood zone. To summarize a letter from the president of the board of directors of the temple, Mr. Sam Khan, Kun?
Yes, sir.
Sam Kun, who's here in front of us. Yeah. We have a description of the trees that were cut. In the description, 22 trees were taken down, 4 trees with 18 inches in diameter, 11 trees with 14 inches in diameter, and 7 trees with 10 inches in diameter, all trees from the flood zone. The measurements roughly are shown. This is a measurement taken by the owner and presented by Sama. There is the description of some trees that were planted on this property as well last spring. These photos that we're looking at show several 39 emerald green arborvitae trees along Townsend Avenue between their two properties located at 48 and 66 Townsend Avenue. These trees appear to be about 4 feet tall. I would like to give Sam the opportunity to speak further on this letter presented and any rectification they have for this enforcement order.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Chairman, and good evening, Commissioner. Once again, my name is Sam Khan. I'm the president of the Wat Khmer Lowell and the Khmer American Cultural Centers. Like we said earlier before the meetings, this was done. The tree was cut, by one of by the Buddhist monk, with the advice that was given to to them wrongly, suggesting, oh yeah, it's our property, we can cut it. It's not whatever it is, but. So to mitigate, the issue is that the tree have been 39 emerald green have been planted, 14 of which have been planted like a week ago. So it's all these 39 tree along the 48 Townsend and the 66 Townsends. And what we do is that we wanted to ask the commissioner to work with us and to, approve that this mitigation by planting the tree be in replacement of the tree that was cut down. And that also wanted to, clear up all the dead trees already on the ground, just to make it more safely for, for the community member and for the, people to go to worship at the place. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. So the easiest one, right? Clearing dead trees, right? I have no problem with you taking away dead, fallen trees from the property, right? These are not anything that benefits or inhibits the flood zone whatsoever. To me, that's the easiest one, right? The next is the replacement of these trees. I know based on your previous presentation that you're looking for places where you're going to plant trees in your final plan that locations that won't be disturbed, like you could plant something now, right? And that's why you've planted these 39 arborvitae, is because they're part of the final plan, without the grading and drainage requirements and the disturbance of land that comes with the development that you're looking to do for your final construction project, which I will reiterate, we said last meeting is not permitted, but it was previously. That permit has expired. It's hard for me to see any benefit to this enforcement order for the previous planting of trees. But I do know that you're upcoming like a full site development, right?
Right.
We don't want to make you plant trees that are going to be torn up. Last meeting I had asked for this to be all presented on a plan. I would love to see if there are any other tree locations that are not, in areas of non-disturbance, right? Because if there's something that you're showing on your final plan that you could plant now, this is the time to do it, right? I don't have a plan, so I don't know for sure that there are any other possibilities. But I do recognize that you've been really proactive in planting here on this site, and I believe that those are you've planted what you've planted because those are the final planting locations in non-disturbance areas.
Right.
To me, 39 arborvitae don't equate for the volume of trees that have been cut down here. This is a problem. The reason that we're talking so much about this specific instance is because it's not the first problem. I really struggle with finding a way to balance a continual disregard of the policies and practices that is the reason this board exists versus the dream that you have, and that I really, again, I really can't wait to come to fruition, this vision of this temple that you have presented. I believe just as much as you do that this will be an exceptional place, worthy of all the celebration that comes with the pain of a couple trees, right? And so I struggle here. I would like to see a little bit more proof of how I would like for you to show me that you are sure that there are no other trees on the final design that could be planted now.
It's premature because, we do have the plan in place to plant more tree, like, dogwoods and other, a tree that is appropriate for the area. The plan that was approved by your commission, in 2019 was pretty much we saw all those trees, but it's premature to plant those trees right now just because of it had to the road had to be built in. The tree had to be planted on along the sidewalk and with light pole and all that kind of stuff here, right? Because right now we haven't touched, we haven't really dig the ground and do any road, construction yet. So it's, if we were to plan anywhere right now, we're going to take it back again. So we wanted to just, mitigate this issue first, and then of course, we're going to come back with, the proper planning and rewire it to make sure that it's approved, and the number of trees that we're going to be planting. And of course, we love the tree. It's just that, the area that was right now, it caused, some safety concern. That's why when it was advised that it can be cut down, so we just without. So yeah, we plan to plant more tree. I mean, that's definitely. And we can work with you, and we can walk the side and say, hey, how many more when we can plan, we'll be happy to do that.
There's a huge difference to me between the need to plant trees to make up for the future approval of your project, which guaranteed has to happen, and the trees that are required to make up for the damage done to the flood zone, right? Again, I'll reiterate, if there's any trees that you could plant on this site that would not get disturbed, now's the time.
Okay.
And if there's nothing else that you could plant, if you really guarantee that everything else on your site is an area of disturbance, I'd love for you to put that in writing. I would really appreciate that. That would make my decision a lot easier. It is critical to me that we separate the construction project in the future with what's happened right now. You got a design approved, but that approval expired. And so we are here again talking about not the first or second, but the third enforcement order on this property in the recent years. And I want to make sure that we can help you move forward. Right? But also, like, trees that were already planted prior to the enforcement order, the reason for the enforcement order taking place, to me that's bonus points. It only gets you from 100 to 105. It doesn't get you from 0 to 100, and I'll leave it at that. And if anybody else has something to say, then now's the time.
How long have the property owners owned this property? Was it 2012 when it was purchased?
24. It was owned by a community Khmer Buddhist monk, and the late monk passed away. So we just start owning this property on the 31st, November 31st, 2023.
2023?
Right.
Well, I've been on this commission about 10 years, and I've been on it for all 3 of the enforcement orders, and I feel like it's deja vu every time we say that if you do anything to the property, someone needs to come before us, contact the office, and let us know. And that hasn't happened for a 3rd time in a row. I know the old saying of 3 strikes and you're out. I think if we give them a pass this time, we automatically go to fines the next time. Because I've been on this commission for 10 years, and this property is the property that I've seen before me with the most enforcement orders on it. So I don't know if anyone else has anything to say.
Yeah, I mean, it is, I think I've seen 2 in 5 years, so we missed one, and it's by far the most seen site that we've seen since I've been on the commission. I agree with Commissioner Boutenais that I don't think that the trees in place, that the arborvitae trees are the same as what were taken out. I think they're smaller. I think that we're missing some bigger trees here that aren't really being replaced in kind. So more trees would definitely be something that I'd be looking for as well.
So if you multiply the number of trees by their diameter provided on your letter, you have a total of 296 inches of, tree diameter. If you divide that by 39, just as I was tapping it, 1 second.
Yeah, that's an auditory. That's comparison. It's not the same. But like I said, I mean, we do
Yeah,
what you
sure. And
said
you're never going to
earlier.
be able to plant trees
Right.
that have the same volume. But I want to put it into perspective. I want to provide some number, which is the only number that I can really provide in comparison to the method of remediation that you've proposed, which is these 39 planted trees. Each of these 39 trees, which are the fastest growing, the ones that grow 3 feet a year, and in that growth do suck up a lot of water, right? Which is something I'm willing to give credit for. There's two things that I think about. In a flood zone tree, there's the coverage of its
Canopy.
thank you, which makes sure that the sunlight doesn't penetrate into the wetlands or any ground and evaporate water. Although in a flood zone that could theoretically help. And then there's the volume of water that the tree is sucking up, right? And a faster growing tree, one with a thicker, stalk and trunk, the bigger the tree using more water. This one's growing really fast. These arborvitaes grow 3 feet a year. But to get to the same trunk size, we'd have 39 8-inch trees, and the arborvitaes are never going to get there, right? They will outgrow themselves and topple over, right? So this is the reason. These are the numbers behind why I want to make 100% sure that there is nothing else that can be planted now.
Looking at that, we can plan. We can plan maybe somewhere along the cemetery. Make as a border. We can plan. The emerald green, or we can plan. Other tree that would be appropriate in the area. I think we can do that. Yeah.
That would be great. If you believe that there's areas of non-disturbance
yeah.
that you can plant
Yeah.
in, I would like to make myself crystal clear. Show it on a plan.
Sure. Yeah.
Make it very clear what you will plant and where you will plant it.
Okay.
Just like you've done this, you've been, to me, like, this far exceeds what was originally confessed to be cut. And so I will take that at 100% truth,
Yeah.
right? It would help me to show where these trees were cut.
Okay.
It could just be a circle.
Sure.
A rough
Yes,
area.
yes, yes. Uh-huh.
It doesn't have to be an exit every spot.
Right.
Show the arborvitaes, show the other plants, identify their species. If you have any questions, this is why Dylan is here.
Okay.
He can refer to you a list of trees that would be perfect for the area that you propose, right?
Yeah.
No matter what they be, right? Like, I'm also at your disposal to help you pick plants that will flourish in that environment that you are
Right.
willing to plant in.
Yeah, the best area is along the cemetery. Cemetery doesn't belong to us, but we can make as like a border plan, more emerald green. That would be, maybe we can put another 20, a tree, there.
I don't think the arborvitae is a great tree for this location. I think maybe we could come up with a list. I would like to know what the trees were that were cut down, because those trees naturally grew there, and they naturally grew there for a reason. Everyone sees the arborvitaes get planted and then end up dying because they're not made for that location or whatnot. So I don't think that, and I think these are where the trees were cut down, right behind the arborvitaes.
Sure.
And you could always see it on the road, and now it's just a row of arborvitaes. Yeah,
Into the mic.
talk into the microphone.
Say that. Say it to the mic.
In one of the pictures you have submitted for the prior meeting, in that picture, you can see the trees, and 3 out of the trees in that lineup are already browned. The proximity to the road could be a contributing factor because the salt and the wind and stuff like that really is damaging to those trees until they become fully established. And since those were recently planted, they're not fully established, so they're at high risk of not making it.
Okay.
In an attempt to find a way to end this meeting, I have no problem with you removing dead and fallen branches, trees, trunks, anything. If it's dead and it's on the ground, go ahead. I agree with Commissioner Dillon that 39 arborvitaes does not replace these trees. And so the goal is finding other planting areas that we can plant now without future rework. We don't want to cost you money, but we do have a responsibility to the wetlands and the flood zone here that we need to uphold and enforce.
Definitely work with you. I mean, we'll look into that. We'll look at the plan and then and just look at the location where it can be done now without removing it later on when we do make the big plan. Yeah, we'll work with you.
We're back in our regular session. We have a meeting every 2 weeks. We have a meeting on the October 8th and the 22nd. I would really hope that you could come back to us in our next meeting in 2 weeks with this plan delineated. Again, this does not have to be something created by an engineer. We all are happy to advise about what plants could be planted.
Sure.
Although none of us individually could grant you approval, but we can help you create that plan that shows a little bit more replacement.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking for something like a tree as opposed to the shrubs that the arborvitaes are. I'm looking for more of like a silver maple or a gray birch. I'd really like to know what those actual trees were that were cut down, because that would also help give us some more insight on what's growing there and what would flourish. But yeah, I'm looking for something that's gonna grow a trunk and is gonna suck up a lot of water, because that's the most important part of this area is the flooding. So.
We'll work with you.
Anyone else?
Just move to approve?
We're looking, I think, with the applicant's approval, a motion to continue to the meeting on October 8th.
Okay, now I just wanted to make one comment.
Sure.
I'd like to echo the chairman's comments. This will be an amazing spiritual and cultural center. So I suggest that you take the recommendations of the board here. I'm rooting for you. I think we all are. So I'm looking forward to the next meeting with the changes that you plan to make.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'll make a motion to continue to the October 8th meeting.
Second it.
Seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you, Sam.
we can remove the fallen tree, right?
Yeah, feel free to send a map right to Dylan, to the conservation agent here at the city, and he'll circulate it to all of us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we have a request for determination of applicability. Project location 587 Princeton Boulevard. A request for determination of applicability has been filed by Quinn's Construction to demolish and reconstruct the existing deck at 587 Princeton. A portion of the proposed work is located in the 100-year floodplain. Good evening.
Pardon me?
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, Chairman.
Hi.
Do you need a little plan? I have a little plan here.
We've been sent around everything that you've submitted,
Okay.
so we have that. If it's not ready, you'd have to, it takes some time to put it electronically.
Oh, I just got it right here in paper.
For a deck, I don't think it's necessary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thank you.
First time doing this, so. Yeah, I just replaced the deck, and we'll have to put footings in, and it's in the 100-year plain, floodplain.
Are you changing the area of the deck at all?
No, it's going to be the same size.
How is it currently anchored? You said you were putting in footings?
Footings, yeah.
Uh,
It's just blocks underneath now with holding it up.
Okay.
You know, that was put in like 30 years ago. That's why I'm replacing it. Everything's starting to decay.
So to me, if it's the same size, it's got the same amount of feet, right? The footings are mostly at the ground level. We're not talking about addition to the floodplain, right? That's really our main concern here, is that we're like not putting more volume of materials that would displace water outside of, into other areas in the floodplain, right? If your deck's the same size, it's the same amount of feet, you know, you can remove soil. One question I would ask is, what will you do with the soil displaced from the new footings?
There's not going to be any soil displaced. He's just going to dig the hole, and he'll probably dispose of it in, I guess, in his dumpster or whatever he has, you know. And I plan on putting like a fabric underneath for weed control.
Sure.
I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, he's going to dig the material out and stuff, you know. I imagine he'll get rid of it, you know.
So it's my responsibility to make a mandate that the soil dug out for the concrete footings is taken out of the site, right?
Yeah.
Because that's how we make sure that that concrete that you're adding doesn't add to the flood zone, right? You're adding concrete in place of the soil, so you got to get rid of the soil.
Right, exactly.
Other than that, it's not near wetlands, so there's no need to protect our silts. There's no erosion control. As long as we're not adding to the flood zone, then I have no problem.
Anyone else? I'll make a motion to issue a -3 determination.
I'd appreciate it if you just add on to that any exposed excavated soil is
With
removed
a
from the site.
condition that any soil excavated is removed from the property.
I'll second it.
Seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night. Next up, notice intent, Mullins Management Company, project location 169.2 Bridge Street. An NOI has been filed by Mullins Management to remediate the release of number 6 fuel oils at 169.2 Bridge. The work includes implementing a remedy to eliminate the pathways for sheen to migrate the surface water of the Concord River. The proposed work will take place within the Concord River. Hi.
Hello. As they're getting set up, I'll just introduce myself. My name is Kayla Lesson. I'm an employee of Mullins Management Company, and we are manager and owner representative for Massachusetts Mills Mill Yard, which includes the current residential occupied units, the 2 vacant buildings at the parallel to the Merrimack River, and also this courtyard, which is at issue in between the Picker Building and the Boiler Building. I'll be able to show you the area as we've gotten set up. As you stated, we are looking to do some work in the area and a very minor amount of work in the Concord River in order to mitigate a number 6 fuel oil that has been migrating during drought conditions into the Concord River. This has happened maybe 2 or 3 times in the last 5 years when there's been extreme droughts, usually in August. And we currently have boom systems and other absorbent booms out in the Concord River in order to mitigate any oil in the river today. But I'd like to hand it over, oh, sorry.
Can I ask you to set up here? Thank you.
No. After we set up again, I will hand it over to our licensed site professional, who is Ray Johnson, who is moving the board right now. And then we'll also be bringing on Mike Zaboulis from GEI Consultants, who will be talking more about the remedy and the engineering behind the remedy.
Can I get a shot on the map shown here on the tripod, just to make sure that we're in the right spot? There it is. Thank you. Cool. Please do. Welcome.
These two are the larger buildings along the Merrimack River. Oh, I can move it. Thank you. Along the Merrimack River that are currently vacant. This is the Picker Building, which was just recently finished in 2016. And then in here in the middle is the smokestack that you can see for miles. And then this is the courtyard in between, and this area here is the area of the confluence of the Concord and the Merrimack River, where we've noticed the number 6 fuel oil. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kayla. Good evening. My name's Ray Johnson. I'm with Tetra Tech in our local offices in Marlborough, Massachusetts, and I am the licensed.
We have a podium just for you, unless you
Well,
something to refer to.
I was going to point out things on the.
Go ahead. Head over there. Just point it with your finger.
Okay.
We want to make sure everything gets captured on camera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I am the licensed site professional working on this project. I don't know if you're familiar with the licensed site professional program. We are licensed by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to make opinions on Massachusetts contingency plan regulated properties. So obviously this is a property with a long history of industrial use going back to the 1880s. And starting in 2012 through 2016, there were a number of investigations that were done in the courtyard area that Ms. Lesson pointed out. It's between the Picker Building, which is currently a residential building, and a currently vacant building, the former boiler building. And there were a couple of release conditions that were identified. There was what we call LNAPL, which is light non-aqueous phase liquid. It's basically petroleum that's floating on the water table in a monitoring well. There were PCBs and metals in soil. There was a petroleum sheen on the Concord River that was observed periodically during low flow conditions. And there was some asbestos that was found also, because there used to be pipes that went above ground from the boiler building to the Picker Building. And at one time, they were wrapped in asbestos.
So everything.
Well, they didn't find chlorinated solvents. They
There you
didn't
go.
find- yeah.
That's why you're the professional.
Yeah. But they found the type of things you would typically find on a property that's got 150 years of industrial use. So between 2016 and 2019, there were a number of remedial actions that were implemented. There were some tanks that were removed. There were some fuel oil bunkers that had, there was sand that was used to fill the bunkers. It was contaminated. That was taken out. There was a PCB hotspot in the courtyard that was taken out. And then between September 2018 and February 2019, there were 3 large fuel oil tanks, 28,000 to 38,000 gallons, that were taken out. There was 2,200 tons of soil that was taken out and disposed of off-site, and there was a former pump building that was demolished. It had asbestos and other contamination in it, PCBs. So the site is basically ready for regulatory closure, with the exception of the sheen that appears on the Concord River right in this area. during low flow conditions. So basically, when the level of the Concord River is below the base of the retaining wall, there's a few voids at the base, and there's oil that migrates out, and it creates a sheen on the Concord River. The sheen is controlled. There's a boom system that runs around here. There's a hard boom, and then there's absorbent booms that are replaced periodically. There's also some sandbags in there. And so the boom system captures the oil when it appears during low flow conditions. But obviously, that's not a long-term solution, and we can't achieve a permanent solution under the mass contingency plan unless we can mitigate the flow of oil to the Concord River. So it really became went from an environmental assessment to really a geotechnical engineering and design project to figure out how to repair the retaining wall to mitigate this migration of oil to the river. And so Mass Mills hired GEI Consultants, and Mike Saboulas from GEI Consultants is going to pick up from here and talk about the alternatives that were looked at, the one that was selected, and then the details of implementation of that alternative. Do you have any questions for me? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I have one question.
Sure.
So are there still tanks under there?
No,
No, they've
No.
all been removed?
tanks are taken out.
That's just from
Yeah.
the soil, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, the oil that's appearing in the river is just residual that's trapped in the soil. And so I'm glad you asked the question. So the question might be, well, why don't you just put in some wells and extract the oil? It's because this is a weathered number 6 fuel oil, so very heavy, almost like a tar. So we have a number of monitoring wells and recovery wells in the courtyard. We actually gauge them every month to see if we have product in the wells, and if we had product, we would bail it out. But we rarely see product, and when we do, it's just a couple of globules. So if this was gasoline or number 2 fuel oil or something like that, there would be other measures to get the oil out. But with number 6, especially an old weathered number 6, it's just not feasible to do that. Thank you. Thanks.
Should be great. Hi again, I'm Mike Sabulis. I'm with GEI Consultants. Going to kind of run through the remedy. I want to build on something that Ray mentioned, which is the oil type that's out here. We won't get too down the weeds and put everyone to sleep, but with the history of the site and how things were mobilizing, the kind of conceptual site model is over time, things got under the wall as they were kind of migrating with the flow of the water towards the river. So a lot of what we're trying to mitigate and fix is residual oil, that heavy tar, thick type material that's right behind and immediately under and entrained on the old wall. This kind of just shows the extent of where we're working. This is our actual work pad here, and kind of extent of where we're planning to be in the river. You can kind of see the outlines of the boom systems we're planning to keep and maintain during the remedy that's proposed. So what you'll see here, and I believe this is all in the NOI package, is that correct, Dylan, that they have? All of these points that you see are angle borings that are going to be installed to do what's called a grout injection. And we're going to be doing a targeted grout injection to make sure that we can get down behind the wall here. So what you'll see in this picture here is this is the existing retaining wall. We know behind it there's a bunch of old initial granite blocks that have lots of seams. Presumably that's how the oil is migrating in. We've done evaluations that show that it's not down in the bedrock, it's kind of below the till, right on top of it and moving down this way. You'll also notice a bunch of sacks right here. Those are going to be concrete filled sacks placed by hand underneath the wall to close up those void spaces on one side, with the injections happening behind the wall here to close any void spaces and seal it up, with the goal of preventing the migration pathway and then closing it off to the river. Let me stop there. Are there any questions from the commission?
That is way more advanced than something I feel like I have any business commenting on.
I'll take
seems
any
like
comment.
it fills the voids, it keeps the oil out. Great.
That's the goal.
I'm looking forward to this building. It's really debatable whether that temple that we were just talking about and this building's development, those are like the two things that I think about the most in my sleep. That building, the temple, has been promised to have 1,000 tiny Buddhas in it, which I'm really looking forward to. And this one is at the confluence right here of the Merrimack and the Concord, and I am thrilled that we are moving, and I appreciate your diligence. On to the next. say what you will.
I mean, those are really the questions. I mean, that's really describes the remedy, what we're looking at, and those are the questions from the commission about how this would go, anything specific to the notice of intent you want to address, or any questions that you saw. I know Dylan provided some initial thoughts back from Mass DEP regarding some of the limits and boundaries. We submitted an updated plan. Apologies, I don't have it with me tonight, but I think we've got that covered, that box checked. But
Yes.
love to, see what else we can do if there's anything else we need to satisfy the notice of intent.
All right, so this is an NOI application. This is a public hearing. Are there any members of the public who are interested in speaking? Hearing none, I would take a motion to close the public hearing.
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we are here to discuss the project as proposed. Motion?
I think it's pretty good, yeah. I'll make a motion to issue a City of Lowell Standard Order of Conditions.
I'll second that.
Seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you for your presentation. We've all got one.
Can you just put it down somewhere?
Yeah,
It's fine.
pick a table, any table.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thanks for your time. Yeah. Next up, we have a request for determination of applicability. Robert Clark, project location 31 Lauren Way. An RDA application has been filed by Robert Clark to repave an existing driveway at 31 Lauren Way. The work will take place within the 100-foot buffer zone of a protected wetland.
Yeah, so it'll be a driveway, we're gonna take out the asphalt, the exact same size, and then we're gonna put the paving blocks in. It's just for cosmetics, she likes the paver blocks better than the asphalt. No change in the dimensions, we're gonna haul all the asphalt back to the asphalt plant, and we'll move forward on putting the blocks in. Nothing out of the ordinary.
This being in a wetlands,
Yeah, it was.
while soil is disturbed, we'd ask that you put down, wattles, hay bales, and
The wattles and the, okay, yeah.
I'm drawing a blank on the term. Oh my God,
I
I
do-
can see it in my brain. The mesh fence and
The silt paper.
silt fence.
There it is.
Silt fence. There it is. Look at that. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and we just go right where the driveway,
Yeah.
to protect, make sure nothing leaks in.
No change in area to me.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit what you said. Paver stones.
Paver blocks, and Rob is the one that does the paving blocks. I'll be taking the asphalt out, and he's my partner. He'll be putting the lock blocks that you put right in the driveways or the walkways, but just for the driveway.
Impermeable surface still. And the gaps are filled with a polymeric sand.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, the same.
Yeah.
A little nicer looking.
Yeah, exactly.
No change in area.
Don't take a change.
We take the silt, make sure it's not collected in the wells.
Yeah.
Right? I'm fine.
Okay, perfect.
Anybody else?
A motion to provide a -3 determination.
Motion made.
Second.
Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. In other business, a request for a certificate of compliance. Michael Merks, DEP file number 2060785, project location 1400 Middlesex Street. An RCOC has been submitted by Michael Merks for an OCOC to close and replace in kind a 7,300 gallon underground storage tank at 1400 Middlesex. Hi.
Hi, good evening. I'm Barbie Zarella. This is Bonnie Posnack. We work for Ideal Tape Company, which is the location that we're asking for the certificate for. We're not really sure what information you need from us, but we're here in case you did have any questions on behalf of Michelle Marks.
And from what we understand, Michelle Merck sent everything, complete file to.
The commission.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, something, anytime we remove a storage tank, it is the responsibility of a licensed site professional to sign off on the removal and clean soils around that tank. We saw documentation that that was fulfilled. I have nothing else to ask.
Me neither.
Okay, perfect.
I'll make a motion to issue a certificate of compliance.
I'll second that.
Seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
appreciate it. We have the 2026 Conservation Commission schedule. I didn't look at it. I'm
I think
sorry.
Same thing, summers, 1 week, holidays, 1 week, 1 meeting,
He's
right?
gonna switch it. It's actually one meeting every month for the spring and fall and winter, and then we're gonna do four, we're gonna go every week all through the summer. Assuming it's the same.
Same thing.
A motion to approve?
Motion to approve the schedule.
Second?
Second.
Aye.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And the 8:13 meeting minutes.
I was not there.
If anybody's want to recap the meeting in Washington home, we've got a meeting, a notebook for you, right next to the podium. It's blue. 8:13 meeting minutes.
Make a motion to approve.
Second?
I'll second it.
Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And one more motion. Unless you have anything else to add, Dylan?
Nothing else to add. I was just going to say, I think this schedule is exactly the same unless there's a Wednesday holiday, then it shifted. But,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
All right, all in favor? Thank you.
Aye.
Have a good night, everybody.